Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Honest Vibes Only. It is 2022. I have not filmed an episode in over 2 months. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to get back to it for so long, but I was so busy with life, or I wouldn't feel good, or I was away for a while. So I just didn't get in that groove. But I really wanted to post an episode. I'm trying to figure out how I want to kind of form my content, like what I want to talk about next. And I have a lot of ideas, but I kind of need some time to kind of sit with them. And I'm probably going to actually think over them a bit before I talk about them. But I thought just to get back into the groove of things, I would make a Happy New Year kind of episode. So some changes coming to the podcast this year. I'm trying a new thing where you guys are hearing this on audio if you're listening through Spotify or Apple Music. But on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be posting the video, on there. So I'm starting to use video for my podcast. I'm gonna try that out. I'd like to post these on my YouTube channel just to kind of reach a bigger audience. Ever since I started this podcast, I keep saying how it's like the dearest project to me that I do out of everything I do for work. And it truly is. I really want to make a difference in mental health when I'm older. And I'd really love to grow this platform for this new year. So that's the goal. Make sure you guys give me feedback on what you think, if you like this vibe or not. I can always go back to audio if needed without the video. And side note, yes, I am wearing a Grinch onesie. If you have not noticed yet, it's one of these days where I'm not feeling that great and I just wanted something comfortable. So we're rolling with it. We're still in this serious vibe, but just with little twists for today. But yeah, so Happy New Year. Is it still okay to say that? Because it's January 12th. When is the cutoff where it's not really good to say that anymore? I don't know. But Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a wonderful New Year. Today I wanted to talk about my resolutions and the goals, just to kind of get back into the groove of the podcast. Hopefully, maybe I'll give you guys some ideas for your resolutions. Maybe some tips on how to stay with yours. I don't really know. Just kind of dive into it. So, ever since this year, I've kind of been re-energized in a way. 2021 was such a long year for me, and so much happened, and I felt like most of the year was me starting to build things up and to kind of get my footing somewhere stable. And this year my hope is to kind of grow everything. So starting first with my streams. I stream on Twitch. I assume most of the people that watch this come from my Twitch, but in case you don't, I'm a chess streamer on Twitch. And this year, my goal is to grow it as much as I can. I've been on the grind, honestly doing about 2 streams a day for a little bit. That's not going to stay, but I feel like that new energy, to try to reach my goals. My goal is to hopefully get partnered by the end of the year. I'd like to grow my community even more, get more opportunities, bring new content, some fresh content that I haven't been able to do before, and kind of do a bunch of things that I was too emotionally exhausted to put into place last year. So that's kind of the goal. I don't like to set specific numerical, I guess, goals for my resolutions. Like, for example, I'm not going to say I hope to have 10k followers by the end of the year. I don't really want to do that, just because I want to focus on appreciating the grind that I put in this year. I feel like last year and just growing up in general, yes, I would hit a milestone, but I'd be so focused on moving towards the bigger picture, the bigger goal, that all the smaller goals in between didn't really matter. And I want to focus on kind of, slowing that down and appreciating the amount of effort that I'm putting in to every aspect of my work and every single milestone that I do hit. So my focus this year with my resolutions are on the grind and the work that I put in, and focusing on bringing good content and being consistent, rather than I want to hit this by this date, I want to have this, and I'm kind of shifting away from that mentality and just hope that with the proper grind, with the proper hard work, the results will come. So that's what I'm kind of working on towards this year. So that's kind of my goals with streaming. With my YouTube channel, I'm trying to post more frequently, and obviously start posting these podcast episodes on there as well to try to reach a bigger audience. So I'll be posting chess clips, chess content. Again, I'm not setting like I want to post 2 times a week or 1 time a week or whatever. I just want to stay consistent. Whenever I see a good content idea or a clip from a stream, I want to post it. I want to post these podcast episodes, which means I'll have to be active on the grind for the podcast, which I'm going to get to next. There's also going to be a lot of fun in real life content and fresh new content that I haven't done before. And I'm hoping to bring that to my YouTube channel as well. So a lot of fun plans in that area. So hopefully it'll be a good year for YouTube. I started a YouTube channel in I think the fall last year. Didn't really do much with it. So we're gonna start to grow this year. And then with the podcast, I really want to focus on it this year. I feel like it's very hard to grow a podcast just in general. But I'm really gonna try to through posting consistently, and on like Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube, of course, and trying to make a plan for what I want to talk about in the content. And this is something that I actually do want to try to post on once a week, because I have a lot to talk about. And what you can expect for content is similar to last year. I'm going to be doing a lot of things related to mental health, tying things from my story. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for all the feedback that you guys have given and all the love on this podcast. Lately, whenever I stream, I always notice like at least one person commenting on it, or if I advertise it, people like listen to it. And it's so wholesome when I see people here that they've been listening to it on their drive to work, or when they're free, or just waiting for something, and they just put on my podcast and they've said my story is inspiring and they're proud of me, and it makes me so happy. And I'm not gonna stop at all. I'm gonna keep posting that kind of content. It's what I'm passionate about. I want that to be a big part of my life with my work when I'm older. So thank you guys so much for all the support. Like every single thing that you guys say about this podcast means so much to me. I remember it, I take it with me, and it helps me keep going by posting this kind of content. So that's the plan. So you can expect about the same content as last year, just with more consistent posting, and different topics. And of course, if there's ever questions that you guys have regarding mental health or about my story or anything, or advice or whatever, always feel free to reach out to me and just ask it. I love to answer questions as well. So that could also be for an episode. If there's any specific topic you guys would like me to talk about that relates to the kind of theme of my podcast, of course, let me know as well. I'm always down to talk about any of it. So that's just the update for that. Now, for my personal life, let's see. So a big thing that I'm working on is my health this year. Last year I went to shambles because I was so stressed with just, living and trying to get to a more stable point in my life. So this year the goal is to focus on my health, to kind of get back in shape and try to fix my eating again, have a better diet and stuff. So I took the first step by starting like a New Year's challenge. So from the 1st of January until the 31st of January, I am cutting out sweets. So I haven't been eating chocolate. I haven't been eating like candy bars. What else? Like ice cream, cookies, like all of that kind of stuff. Like no cake, like all that kind of stuff I've cut out because I realized that it wasn't much of the beginning of last year, but especially towards the end, like fall onwards, I relied on that kind of food whenever I was stressed or whenever I was just hungry, I would just mindlessly grab like a small piece of a chocolate or go out and get myself a treat, like something like that. And it's obviously fine to do that sometimes, but I noticed I was doing that a lot. So to kind of get me on the step back to, more clean eating, for healthier body, healthier mind, healthier environment, I'm doing that challenge just to get me off that. So that's the plan. I've been eating at home more. I've been eating healthier foods, incorporating more salads, sandwiches, trying out different things. So that's been a great experience as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the next step is going to be incorporating exercise into that as well. I'm gonna try to do some walking. Gonna try to do different sports and stuff. But again, with a lot of my resolutions, I'm not just about to be like, okay, it's January 1st. All right, let's start every single thing. I'm building my way up. So with this food, the first step of the challenge was to slowly cut off a lot of the sweets and stuff, and slowly get back on track. The next step, and I've been eating healthier. The next step will be to start incorporating exercise. So I'm kind of taking it slower, just like with everything else. So that's the plan. Financially, this year, my goal is to try to save. So I just want to take a moment and thank you all for all the support you guys gave me when I first came forward with my story. There were so many amazing, beautiful messages that made me feel so loved and so supported. And thank you all for every single donation from every single person. Like, I never expected that, and you guys have helped me get on my feet again, be able to get my own place. You guys helped me be stable, be able to get a lot of things that I needed when I was moving out and moving to somewhere new. And I just genuinely appreciate that so much. Like, I would not have been able to do it with you guys. So thank you. And I have invested a ton of money into so many things that I needed just to get to where I am today. Like, I've learned so much about adulting, which these are going to be for future episodes about the whole adulting scene. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm sure, as most of you guys listening know, all the things that come with, insurance, car, health, medical bills, like, it's even just rent, like, it's crazy. It was eye-opening to me because I knew all this stuff was expensive, but when you kind of go from not having to pay for a lot of those things to paying for every single one of those things, it's definitely a huge transition. It's definitely worth it though, because I'm so much happier mentally. So it's definitely worth the struggle now for a better future coming up. So my plan is to try to save a lot from a lot of the money I had to invest last year to get to where I am today. And the reason why I want to save is obviously because it's a sensible thing to do. But also I want to travel more this year. So I love traveling, and now I have the ability to kind of do it just by myself. I get to go. Well, not that I get to go right now, but in the future, I'm hoping that I'll get to go wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go, like treat myself to a vacation here and there throughout the year. So my goal is to travel a lot more, and through traveling, I'll be able to, do a lot of things that I've never tried before, eat different foods, meet different kinds of people, explore different cultures. And obviously that's great content for like YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and I want to share those experiences with you guys. So that's also the plan in that area. What else do we have? So some personal goals with just self-care. In that aspect, I would like to start having a better morning routine. I feel a lot of times I wake up whenever. I don't sleep in that late, but basically I just wake up, I, use the bathroom, have some breakfast, and I just like sit at my desk, which is okay. But I want to incorporate a more fulfilling morning routine. I want to practice meditation. I want to start reading again, or not again. Sorry. I want to start reading in general. I was never a big reader, but I want to I want to try reading again. I bought a few books for the new year, and I really want to start reading them. I want to incorporate some yoga because I feel like my body could use it. They could even use as simple as stretching, which I also want to try to do. I want to maybe start taking some vitamins and stuff just to keep my body healthy. So those are kind of some of my plans to have a more fulfilling morning routine. And something else about kind of being my own boss and having my own schedule is I love it because I get to plan things when I am available to them, when I would like to do them, and I can plan my schedule around that. And no one can really tell me otherwise. But that also means I have a lot of time during the day to also do my own thing when I'm not streaming, when I'm not teaching, when I'm not making content. So my goal in that area are to try to do a lot of the hobbies that I either used to do or pick up some new ones. So, for example, I honestly consider the podcast it is work, but I also consider it like a hobby because I thoroughly love doing this. I love filming these videos, doing research about mental health, coming up with different topics. So, I feel like adding a podcast as a hobby will just make me encouraged to do it a lot more. So that's kind of one thing. Another thing is I like to play music. I like to listen and to play with music, but I have a keyboard right there that I would love to start using. So I want to go back into playing the piano. So that keyboard should come in handy. I love to write. I love writing poems. They're nothing great or anything. I don't even know if they're like really correctly formatted and whatnot. But when my emotions are really strong, I express them best through writing. And the words just kind of come naturally to me, and I'm just able to write like full length poems. So I want to do more of that. Kind of, I've always been pretty in tune with my emotions and feelings, but I want to be able to write more and express them more in that way. And I'm hoping to maybe share them as well with you guys if you guys are interested, obviously. So that's kind of the plan there. And that's just a start. There's a lot of hobbies that I can try to take up, and I hope to do so. But for now, that's kind of what I would like to include in my daily life, to kind of have a satisfying, fulfilling routine. So that is a lot of my resolutions. Oh, and another resolution is to kind of stay in touch with some people, like some of my friends. I've always been really bad at texting and replying to people. This kind of recently happened over like the course of the last couple years or so. So I'd like to get better at responding to people, kind of staying in touch, just keeping in touch with some friends, because that's important. So, but yeah, that's kind of all my resolutions. I'm sure there's some that I'm not remembering that I'd like to do, but overall, that is the general gist. So I just kind of wanted to come on here for this podcast and just let you guys know about my plans for the new year, especially with the podcast, but also just general in life, and just keep you guys in the loop. So that is about it, I think. I'm really looking forward to the content coming up for this podcast this year. And I really hope you guys will like, firstly, this new format, but I also hope you guys will enjoy the future episodes coming out. Full steam ahead, guys, with this podcast. It's such a dear project to me. And again, I just wanted to thank you guys so much. Another part of this episode that I wanted to do was also reflect just a little bit about the past year, and kind of where I came from. So last year at this time, I was pretty much like in my parents' place, and I was going through a lot. I was trying to get out of it. I was pretty lost with what I wanted to do in life, and with college and stuff, I was struggling in college during my last semester there. Online was tough. It was not easy. And so it's crazy that a year later, I'm financially independent. I'm doing things that I love. I think taking time off college really helped me just reset and just not have that additional stress on top of everything else that was really hard in my life at the time. And I was able to find what I'm passionate about. So I'm glad that I took this break from college. It really definitely helped me. And now I'm in, a better environment. I have my own place, which is really cool. 20 and I can, afford my own place, and it's a decent place. Like, it's bigger than my last apartment. There's some downsizes, downsizes. There's some, wait, what was I going to say? Anyways, my last place was much smaller, but it had a lot of more modern features with it. This place is definitely not as modern, but there's a lot more space. And I really, really like the place that I'm at right now. I also didn't have Luna, my bunny. I love her so much. I'm so thankful that I was able to get a pet and to be able to take care of a pet. And streaming has come so far in a year. Like, I have a legitimate cool setup now, which I did not have anything close to that a year ago. I didn't even have a proper laptop to stream on. So I'm so thankful for that. The community is amazing, and you guys just help remind me of my purpose every day and just make me really happy. Anytime I'm down, I just know that when I turn on the stream, I'm like basically gonna feel much better by the end of it, and I'm pretty much right about that. And yeah, being on my own is just, it's so freeing, and there's been so much that went on behind the scenes that to kind of get to where I was right now. And going through those tunnels, it was extremely difficult. There were so many emotions tied to them, but I'm glad I went through it all, and I'm where I am right now. And I think at the beginning of this episode, I said I was feeling kind of re-energized for the new year, and I am. I'm grinding streaming, I'm grinding the YouTube videos, this podcast is up and running again. I'm looking really forward to the content coming out this upcoming month. It's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to all the opportunities that this new year will bring. And I know there's going to be a lot of hard days. There's already been so many just within the 12 days of this new year. That I'm not going to go into detail about in this episode, but probably a future one. And so I know there'll be ups and downs, but I hope that I'll be able to talk through them and express myself through them and get through them, and work for a better life and better days ahead. So those are my resolutions. That's my little reflection on this past year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, let me know what you guys think about this format, if you guys prefer video or just audio. And I am looking really forward to this new year. So I hope you guys are doing well yourself. And if you're not, here's my reminder that it is okay to not be okay. Make sure to just take care of yourself, drink some water, get some food in you, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Take care, everyone.